the Park Authority of the City of Leasing.
Speak louder.
This is a regular meeting of the Parking Authority of the City of Elizabeth, New Jersey, listed in the annual notice as defined by Chapter 231 PO 1975. And that copies of the annual notice have been mailed and or delivered to the New York Star Ledger, the Home News Tribune, and posted and filed in the City Clerk's office in compliance with the terms of the Open Public Meeting Law. Chapter 231 PO 1975, December 15, 2011. Roll call.
Commissioner Payne.
Present.
Commissioner Medina. Gargano, absent. Commissioner Bernal Castro.
Present.
Commissioner Mercedes.
Present.
Vice Chairman Leas.
Present.
Chairman Salermo, absent. 4 present. Quorum.
Okay, so
Public
now in the public speaking part of the meeting, I see no one from the public attending at this moment. So that part of the meeting is closed. Open and closed, actually.
Mr.
Oh,
Chairman,
yeah.
I need a motion to approve and or correct the minutes from the October 10, 2012 meeting.
Move.
Okay.
Moved by Commissioner Mercedes.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Bernal Castro. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We have a couple of things on the agenda. First, we'll look at the financials. And we have Dave Soroka here tonight to talk about the 2013 budget. But since he's here, maybe he wants to address, or if you have any comments or questions about the financials.
Okay.
Do I have any comments or questions?
Come on up,
If anybody, nobody?
Okay.
All right, if not, we'll need a motion to accept the financials.
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Very quickly, I need a motion to approve the replenishment of petty cash in the amount of $101.75 for the period of September 30th through October 27th.
Move it.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And lastly, a motion to pay the outstanding bills in the amount of $73,088.92.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So we're gonna have Dave Soroka
Yep.
to discuss the budget. Hand these out.
You want Dave at the table?
Yeah, Dave, come on.
From here.
Yeah, just stay there. Okay, Dave, you want
Everybody
to?
have a copy? Yeah. What we'll be doing tonight, for those of you who've been on the board for a while, is introducing the budget to the state of New Jersey. All public entities are required to submit a budget to the state of New Jersey, regardless of whether they fund us or not. They do not fund us. So it really is just a formality. And just as a reminder, this is the first of 2 steps. We are introducing the budget tonight. There is a resolution that we'll hopefully be adopting. We introduce it, we send it to the state. Technically, they have 45 days to review it and send it back. Good luck with that. But at which point, we will then adopt the budget. We'll send we send 2 copies of about 25 pages to them with the resolution tonight. As I said, they look at it, send it back, and then we add 2 more pages, which really incorporate the adoption resolution. It's almost identical to the resolution we'll be passing tonight, except it's the adoption certification. So, and that's the process. Again, it's a formality. They don't fund us. We're not waiting on any kind of subsidies or anything of that nature. We are completely self-funded, obviously, by the parking revenue. So, and just a couple highlights. Another thing we'll be looking to do tonight is to adopt I don't think we have it written up yet,
Right.
but it's a late resolution. Technically, the resolution's supposed to be down to the state by November 1st. Our meeting obviously isn't until after November 1st. And we've been dealing with trying to get the building leased. So we were kind of pushing it off in an effort to see if we got that leased and if it was going to change the budget. So the budget as it currently stands, we are showing a relatively small deficit of approximately $72,000, $71,482. I have included in this budget, and again, it's for the calendar year 2013, I based the rental of the 24,000 square feet. We're hoping that we'll at least have it rented for half the year, which is approximately $200,000. So that revenue, if you look at one of those top line items, the $210,000 includes $198,000 of rental generated from the leased building. Clearly, if we rent it sooner, we'll generate more revenue. The projections that the consultants provided anticipated approximately $400,000 once that's leased for the year. That unto itself should eliminate the deficit. And we're also trying to, I guess, generate more recognition relative to the new parking facility for some of the overflow traffic, which should generate hopefully additional revenues as well. So as 2013 goes on, again, hopefully we lease the facility. We start seeing some of the parking revenues related to the new facility increase, and I don't anticipate a problem. So, and again, just some minor highlights, some of the operational costs. We're seeing an increase because the parking authority is responsible for the operating costs, things like utilities, insurance, maintenance costs. We have to purchase, you'll see a couple new vehicles included in this budget, which we're going to need for the new garage as well. Additional salaries, things of that nature. So actually, a relatively good budget, all things considered. And once we have things, consistent with what the projections dictate, then I think we'll be in good shape. So I don't know if there's any questions I would be happy to answer them, John.
Our main exposure is the rental of the property.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
And also the transition going to a 24/7 operation. That meant additional employees, so things, we had a transitional year. So we're going to be doing two resolutions. One would be to introduce the budget,
Yeah.
and one would be for me to do a late resolution to the state. So I need individual votes on this. First vote we'll take is to introduce the budget, 2013 budget.
This will be 27/2012. Right here.
If you'd like, sure. Yeah, you can.
Okay, so
Long.
this is the, whereas the annual budget and capital budget for the Elizabeth Parking Authority for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2013 and ending December 31st, 2013 has been presented before the governing body of the Elizabeth Parking Authority and its open public meeting of November 21st, 2012. And whereas the annual budget as introduced reflects total revenues of $2,988,000, total appropriations including any accumulated deficit, if any, of $3,209,482, and total unrestricted net assets utilized of $221,482. And whereas the capital budget as introduced reflects total capital appropriations of $0 and total unrestricted net assets planned to be utilized as funding thereof $0. And whereas the schedule of rates, fees, and other charges in effect will produce sufficient revenues together with all other anticipated revenues to satisfy all obligations to the holders of bonds of the authority to meet operating expenses, capital outlays, debt service requirements, and to provide for such reserves, all as may be required by law, regulation, or terms of contract and agreement. And be it further resolved that the governing body of the Elizabeth Parking Authority will consider the annual budget and capital budget program for adoption at their January 9th, 2013 meeting. Commissioner Payne?
Aye.
Commissioner Maceda? No. Commissioner Gargano? No. Commissioner Burnell Castro?
Aye.
Commissioner Maceda?
Aye.
Vice Chairman Reyes?
Aye.
Chairman Salerno, absent. And now I need a motion to do a late resolution, which will be submitted with that. Can I have a motion for the late resolution?
Gonna read number 28, right?
Correct.
28, 24.
Moved by me. Seconded by,
Second.
second by Rita.
Second.
Oh.
Payne. Okay, Commissioner Payne.
Aye.
Commissioner Medina is absent. Commissioner Gargano is absent. Commissioner Bernal Castro.
Aye.
Commissioner Maceda.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Elias.
Aye.
And Chairman Salermo absent. Okay. Now I'll do all this and get to the seat. Any questions for Dave? If not, thank you very much, Dave. And have a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the Thanksgiving.
Yeah, my next holiday.
I know.
Okay, we have one more business item, resolution, which I'm gonna ask Carlos, our operations manager, to hand out. Thanks, Dave.
No, yes, I give
Oh, you did, I'm sorry. Carlos, this will be 29.
Yeah, 29-2012, right? Okay, let me give a little background first. We are, as you know, we already have box meters in different areas in the city. After a study, we are recommending that we put some meter boxes around the downtown area, around the court complex. And so, with that in mind, whereas the Parking Authority of the City of Elizabeth has determined a need for 32 multi-space pay station, and whereas under the Cranford Police Cooperative Pricing System Identifier 47-CP-CPS allows to take full advantage toward the purchase of these multi-space stations, and whereas Metric Parking, 823 East Gate Drive, Mount Laurel, New Jersey, 08054, was awarded a bid on June 14, 2011. And whereas the Parking Authority of the City of Elizabeth is a member of the Cranford Police Cooperative Pricing System in accordance to the local public contract law, NJSA 40A:11-1 etc. And whereas one multi-space meter is priced at $10,250 and with a multiple price discount for 30 pay stations or more of 15%. Now therefore be resolved that the Commissioners of the Parking Authority of the City of Elizabeth authorizes the purchase of 32 multi-space pay stations. I left out station, just so I have to put that in there. At discount price of $8,712.50 each for an amount not to exceed $278,800.
Which we're going to be leasing
Leasing.
to buy at the end.
No, listen.
So this
Leasing.
would be what we would call phase 2 of the meter boxes. We did a couple here and a couple there on Sterling and some here. Now we're going into the Midtown.
And the experience has been that the revenue collection has improved.
Extremely, and it allows people to use credit card, debit card.
Debit card, and use bills.
And it's also bilingual. The machines are, the screens are bilingual, so they've been a tremendous asset.
And in the future, you could also use pay by phone.
Right, the phone app. Eventually, I mean, in an ideal world, the City of Elizabeth could have over 200 of these. That's how many parking areas I have. So this is the second phase. We did 6 of them, now we're doing 30. And we strategically went out into the fields for placement of these boxes so that, depending on the traffic flow, the pedestrian traffic flow, the location of merchants, the location of the courthouse, and they're very strategically placed in areas. And you can pay at any one of these stations, even if you're, so let's say, for example, I'm an attorney, I go to the courthouse, I park in lot 9, which is a block away. I'm running late in the courthouse. I could go right in front of the courthouse and pay that meter box for lot 9. It's all by the spot number, so it's very convenient for the customer. All right, so we're gonna, the lease has to go out to bid, correct?
That's correct.
All right, so I need a motion to move this resolution to purchase the boxes. Who's that?
Me.
Sorry.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, very good. Okay, and the last item, and why we have Joe Hannon, our attorney here, is a personnel matter, so I'm asking for a motion to go into closed executive session. Moved by Danielle.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Sorry.
Okay, Joe? Okay. Resolution number 30-2012 is a resolution to extend my contract, Carla Mazza, as the executive director for a 5-year term under the current terms. Motion to...
Second.
Commissioner Payne. Payne.
Oh, I'm sorry. Aye.
Commissioner Medina is absent. Commissioner Gargano absent. Commissioner Bernal Castro.
Aye.
Commissioner Maceda.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Leas.
Aye.
Chairman Salerno absent. Resolution 31-2012 is to extend the contract of John Moriarty as our attorney for a 5-year term under the current terms. Any motion?
Second.
Moved by Bernal Castro, seconded by Commissioner Payne. Commissioner Medina absent. Commissioner Gargano absent. Commissioner Bernal Castro.
Aye.
Commissioner Maceda.
Aye.
Vice Chairman Leas.
Aye.
Chairman Salerno absent.
Okay, do we have any other questions for our employment counsel for Mr. Hannon?
No, right now?
Pleasure meeting.
Nice meeting you.
Even though I met you 100 times. But I never saw you in the PM. Right?
Late PM.
The late PM.
Okay,
Okay.
thanks, Joe.
Thanks,
Okay.
Joe.
Okay.
Have a nice Thanksgiving.
Okay. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, give me one of them, the 2 of each. I'll put them in one file. Okay, with that being said, we need a motion to adjourn. And seconded by Bernal Castro. All in favor?
Aye. So this is... It's good evening.
John, you